Now, while I was Googling up the atomic priesthood, I ran into the website of the Atomic Priesthood Project. And I was like, ooh, tell me more. Because this is not the atomic priesthood of the Time Bridge report. No. Mm-mm. This is a group of regular people. And their aim is to generate rituals, language, and material culture on deep scales of time. And the ideas they've been collecting are wild. You have to go check them out, seriously. Some of their ideas are things about like the clothing that the atomic priesthood would wear, or the rites of initiation, like getting this gnarly tattoo to symbolize that you have been initiated into this knowledge and wisdom of the atomic priesthood. But then there's ideas for the waste site itself, like the Black Sun Rose Project. And the reason that I loved the ideas that were in the Black Sun Rose Project so much is because one of their suggestions was to put information panels around the site with this specially made glass. Because the way that I see it, glass is magical. Not only is it durable for thousands, possibly even millions of years, it's bendable. And it can channel light. It means that theoretically, you could use it to illuminate these panels without electricity, even underground. Plus, because glass is so magical, they said that you could create it in a way so that time erosion, even vandalism, chipping away at this glass, only reveals more message. Like, look at these logs of glass with letters made into them by Helen Lee. These are astounding. I love these so much. But that's not all of the suggestions that are on this website. So like, for example, there's this suggestion that when the site is closed, in order to keep people out, you design the landscape to look and feel formidable, ominous. And I'm like, that is so clever because it's implicit. You get the message because you feel it. Theoretically, what it means is that you're sending the message in a way that could never be lost. You know why? It's because you're sending it using a language that doesn't even use words. It's using the language of fear, which is a language everyone understands, which theoretically means it's a language you could never lose, which means, again, it's a message you could never lose. But I'm actually interested to hear what you think. How would you protect the site? Do you think any of these ideas would work? You know, because don't get me wrong now, I'm not saying that I think any of these ideas would work. And that includes like the Time Bridge report recommendations. But I love the idea of it. Thinking out all the different ways that you could send this message and all the ways you could lose it. I think that's really fun. That's fascinating. So back to what I was telling you with the website. Here I am looking at all of these pictures, thinking about these different aspects of the project. And I'm like, what? I need to talk to these people. This is incredible. So I did. And I contacted Brian McGovern Wilson, who's the head of the Atomic Priesthood Project. Here's the thing, right? What I was trying to do was figure out what's his intention here. Why is he doing this? Because if you look at the site, you clearly understand this is an art installation. This is work from an artist. So I was wondering, is this art for art's sake? Are you interested in this because of your interest in trying to send information across time? Are you interested in protecting the site? Like, tell me more, And Brian was pretty cryptic. And he said, nuclear waste and its attendant histories provide the ideal touchstone for the project. And Seebeck's text is a powerful lens to think through these conditions, but are not limited to nuclear waste, deep time communication measures, nor the living. And I was like, okay. This goes right along with the mysterious nature of an atomic priesthood. This is a prime example of just because you know what something says doesn't mean you know what it means. I don't necessarily know what he means, but I think that he and I think about the Time Bridge report the same way, that this is not about nuclear waste for either of us. And don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of nuclear anything, precisely because this radioactive waste is dangerous for so long. I am interested in, how in the Sam Hill are we going to warn people in the future? I am concerned about this dangerous, nasty stuff in the ground. I hate this. But it's not why I'm telling you about the Time Bridge report. It's not why I'm telling you about the Atomic Priesthood project. No. There is a reason. And it's because whether you are imagining the future or looking back at the past, this Time Bridge report is, like Brian says, a very powerful lens to look through, because it's full of clues and connection points that you're going to use during all the rest of this process of discovering the directions for life. And you won't know it yet, but you will see it as we go along.